Right now, on Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs, it's craft cocktails.
Milk at the bar, you need some kind of vitamin.
And
big steaks and chops.
Really unique, really fun things.
We're on Jefferson Street in Lexington at the Blue Heron Steakhouse.
It's kind of back to the nostalgia of the old school steakhouse.
Steaks, pasta, salads, and sides, all done the old-fashioned way.
The food is delicious.
And we're revealing the secrets so you can do it the same way at home.
Give our tenderloin a slice, back on the bone.
It's dinner time at the Blue Heron Steakhouse right now on Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs.
And we're ready to go.
Hey again, everyone. Tim Laird with you with more Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs. This time, we're in the hottest part of Lexington for food and drinks. It's Jefferson Street. Business is booming here with all kinds of new restaurants and bars up and down the street.
I think there's a lot of really interesting, fun things happening on this side of town.
We've gone from about 150 licensed seats, occupiable seats on this street to almost 1,000 in 2 years.
Keith Clark knows a thing or two about Lexington's restaurant scene. He's the one who opened Cheapside Bar and Grill back 3 decades ago.
It started out with a bang on a St. Patrick's Day opening, and it never looked back.
And he's always lived right here on Jefferson Street.
Well, I've lived on this street, not necessarily on Jefferson, but within a 3-block area of where we're sitting right now, for the length of time that I've lived in Lexington.
This old house has been here since the 1800s, and it has new life these days as the Blue Heron Steakhouse.
I love the atmosphere, the character of it.
The Blue Heron opened in 2013 as just a place for craft cocktails. The food came a year later, and it was worth the wait.
We added a new 600 square foot addition on the back with a full commercial style kitchen that is second to none in Lexington in my mind, given the size.
We're trying to do steakhouse, full service.
It's classic steakhouse fare at the Blue Heron. Fresh oysters from both coasts. Local ingredients too, like the pork belly.
Pork belly is probably my favorite dish on the menu.
And of course, giant steaks and chops.
Big steaks and chops.
You know, it's kind of back to the nostalgia of the old school steakhouse.
Chef Will Preston is the man in charge of cooking all that to perfection.
I'm from Lexington. I've been doing this a long time.
After high school at Lawrence Dunbar, he worked his way up through several of Lexington's elite restaurants like Dudley's and the Hyatt Regency Hotel. And he's picked up some good secrets all along the way, like how to make irresistible pork belly with an international kick.
So basically we start with a slab of pork belly and we cure it overnight. I do a simple rub of salt, sugar, Chinese 5-spice. We let that sit overnight, wash it off, and then I roast it in the oven at probably 325 for about 4 hours till it's falling apart.
Then it's pressed so all the flavor from the fat is pushed into the meat.
So here is what the finished product looks like. So now we're going to slice it and we are going to dredge it through rice flour. Just to lightly cover it in flour, and we're going to go into a hot pan and we'll probably cook it for about 5 minutes total. Crisp it up on both sides. The other element of this dish, we have a braised daikon. Daikon is an Asian radish, so we peel that and we braise it with a little chicken broth, orange, ginger root, soy, star anise for about 3 hours, and then at that point we're just reheating it. This has been braised. You know, when you braise it, it really loses the radish taste, and it takes on a lot more sweet taste, especially with the ginger and the orange, the star anise in there. After we brown this up for another minute, we're gonna hit it with a Korean barbecue that I make in-house. We're doing Korean chili paste. We're doing a lot of rice wine vinegar, some sugar, some ginger, some garlic, some toasted sesame seeds, little sesame oil, and scallion.
After slathering the pork with this special sauce, it's back to the heat.
And at this point, we're gonna pop this under the broiler just to heat and glaze the pork belly.
Then he's ready to prepare the plate.
Yeah, this is our daikon. It's gonna go on the bottom of the pork belly. And just when we start to bubble up, we wanna take it off.
The pork belly goes right on top of the braised daikon.
and a little more sauce around the plate, fresh scallion garnish, and it's good to go. That is our crisp pork belly, Korean barbecue, and braised daikon.
Korean barbecue pork belly, a nice way to kick off a meal at the Blue Heron Steakhouse. And another good starter is a craft cocktail from mixologist Michael Sabri.
We kind of do like a little throwback, a little old school style steakhouse, so I'll do some drinks that people haven't seen for a while.
They have some delicious cocktails.
How about a classic milk punch? Perhaps a pisco sour or something like this.
Today I'm going to do a cucumber and jalapeno syrup margarita. Start off with your glassware.
This margarita gets much more than just salt on the rim.
Cayenne, sugar, and the old kosher salt.
A squeeze of fresh lime goes first into the glass.
Then we use our jalapeno house-made syrup. All right, then we have a house-made sour mix. So then I have a fresh cucumber juice. Again, we like to use whatever fresh juices are available. There was a time when I made this drink, I was hand muddling, and it's very labor intensive, so you do well to get a juicer.
Next comes a nice Blanco tequila. Make sure it's a good one that's made from 100% blue agave.
We're gonna get a little ice in here. Gonna mix that up real good. Shake. Alrighty. I'm gonna go ahead and use a canvas bag for hand crushing ice. I am old school. I'm gonna crush that up. A hand crushed ice in here.
To that, he garnishes with a fresh basil leaf and serves the masterpiece on a plate with a topper of orange zest. Oh yeah, thirsty anyone? More secrets coming up from the Blue Heron. Next, the secrets to classic clams and linguine. Plus, ever heard of a pisco sour? Well, we'll show you what it is and the secrets to making one yourself. And later, the granddaddy of all steaks. More secrets of Bluegrass Chefs at the Blue Heron after this. If you're looking for a big city meal right here at home, we've found just the place. I'm Tim Laird at Lexington's Blue Heron Steakhouse, where you can get a taste of New York City right here on Jefferson Street. Salads, classic side dishes, and succulent steaks that are patterned after New York's most famous steakhouse. The Blue Heron has quickly become a favorite on a street that's become the epicenter of Lexington's culinary scene. It's one of the trendiest new spots for nightlife in Lexington, but actually, it's been around since Lexington's beginnings.
Going back so far as to when Pony Express was here and our first post office was here, was down 3 blocks away on Short Street. This area has been where the people that lived in Lexington, that grew Lexington, basically had their primary homes early on.
Blue Heron owner Keith Clark is on a mission to revitalize the Jefferson Street corridor.
He's kind of the godfather of the whole Jefferson Street movement.
And he's finding success. There are all kinds of options for eating and drinking around here these days.
This corridor, Jefferson Street, we're loaded to the gills with the restaurants. Seems like there's a new one popping up every week, and it's very diverse. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing.
Whether you want family-friendly or something more grown-up, you'll find it on Jefferson Street.
I think there's a lot of really interesting, fun things happening on this side of town.
It's just up the road from Rupp Arena, which brings a lot of traffic to this corridor in a good way.
You've got a simple barbecue joint at the end of the road, right next to a brewery. Then Wheaton's got her seafood market, which is awesome. You've got Nick Ryan's down here doing American cuisine. So, now we're a steakhouse and got pizza across the street.
Pizza at the Grey Goose, tapas at Enoteca, and the list goes on.
We got some more neighbors down the street at County Club. Johnny down there is just a fabulous chef, knows what he's doing, and he's got some really, really unique menu items. Ouida's come to town. She's come to Jefferson Street with her fish thing at the West 6th, and we just feel like that it's becoming a corridor where everybody can get something that they like and enjoy their time here.
What they're doing here at the Blue Heron Steakhouse is, you guessed it, steak in the classic style with all the good things that go with it, like salads, sides, libations.
The drinks are delicious.
Specialty drinks.
The drinks are all high-end and made from scratch, just like the food. Whether you want to go for the 40-ounce porterhouse or another steakhouse classic like linguine and clam.
These are an old salt from Virginia, a variety of Little Neck. Sure, and we've sourced our fresh pasta locally from Lexington Pasta Company. They have a fantastic product. Really absorbs your flavors a lot more. So for this dish, we're gonna start out with some shallots. Just wanna get a little sweat on those. So we've got our shallots, we've got our garlic. We don't wanna burn either one of these. We wanna do a pinch of red chili flakes. Right before everything starts to brown, you wanna hit it with your white wine. We're gonna cover these to help them steam. At this point, our water's boiling, so we can drop our linguine.
Be careful. If you're going to try using fresh pasta at home, it cooks a lot faster than the dry.
Probably a fifth of the time it would take you for dried pasta to cook. Like I said, 2 minutes and it's ready to go. The sauce we make it in the pan, so it's white wine, and when the clams pop, you know, they're releasing their own liquor, and that's really where the flavor comes from. The flavor that comes out of the clams is really what makes the dish. We're just finishing the sauce with a little knob of butter, some halved cherry tomatoes, a little Parmesan, pinch of parsley, and our fresh linguine. Now with this fresh pasta, cooking it to order like this, it's really going to absorb all the flavors that you've got in the pan. And we'll hit it with just a little Parmesan to finish. That's the dish.
Simple and classic. Linguine and clam.
It was pretty impressive.
The Blue Heron signature cocktails are impressive too. And mixologist Michael Sabri is ready to share the secrets to another one, the Pisco Sour.
Traditional Pisco Sour is Pisco brandy. It's brandy made from grapes. And lime juice. I have a Pisco, which is from Chile. The Pisco is called Alto del Carmen.
Michael uses as many fresh ingredients as he can, and he has a lot to work with behind this bar.
We handcraft our syrups, we handcraft our sour mixes here. We use fresh fruit all day, every day, okay? So we're gonna take the juice of half lime. We're going to take a little bit of our house-made simple syrup. We have some egg whites. Don't be afraid, pasteurized egg whites. Traditional method, and definitely making a comeback with classic cocktails. That's a beautiful texture, beautiful, smooth, creamy texture, and I suggest using that for whatever cocktails you can. So I have some white grape juice.
Fresh squeezed grape juice, of course.
You can use red, any kind of grapes, champagne grapes. And this is the Pisco brandy. There's some that you can probably run your car on some of them. You don't want those ones. You want the medium to high end. Pop that on, get a good seal, and get a good shake because you want to froth up the egg whites that are in there. Next, I'm going to do a little zesting. So I'm going to put some orange zest on this one. Then I'm going to end that with some bitters. Don't use too much. So, voila, here we have the Blue Heron Pisco Sour.
Michael's going to share more of his secrets coming up, including how to make a classic cocktail with milk.
Milk at the bar. You need some kind of vitamin.
And next, it's the granddaddy of all steaks. You've gotta see this. Stay with us for more secrets of Bluegrass Chefs at the Blue Heron Steakhouse coming up. Tim Laird back with you for more secrets of Bluegrass Chefs. This time we're at Lexington's Blue Heron Steakhouse on Jefferson Street. It's just across from the Gray Goose, but while the goose and heron are similar kinds of birds, the restaurants are entirely different. The Gray Goose is famous for pizza, sandwiches, and more casual fare in a family-friendly atmosphere. The Blue Heron, on the other hand, is made for grown-ups.
Crackling fire is a very nice touch. Feels like being in a ski lodge.
It also feels a bit like the famous Peter Luger Steakhouse in New York City, which has been there since 1887.
Peter Luger does a giant porterhouse steak for two on a sizzling hot platter when it comes out of the kitchen. We've replicated that.
It's a neat presentation. It's going to come out to your table sizzling hot. It's just a neat presentation. This steak is for two. You know, it's 40 ounces. You could eat it by yourself.
We'll show you how they do that coming up. But first, the secrets to a couple of sides.
This is one of our signature salad dishes on our menu. Basically, we have a baby kale and arugula salad. We're dressing this with a maple balsamic vinaigrette. There's shallot, there's a little garlic, Dijon, and then a good shot of maple syrup to finish it up, just to sweeten it up a bit. We serve this salad with some dried figs, a little bit of white Stilton cheese, and some peppered walnuts. This is a really young, underdeveloped blue cheese, so you can see it hasn't developed any blue in it at all yet. There's streaks of ginger and dried mango in the cheese. Just a great product. We're just going to do a nice little pile of our walnuts here. The walnuts I beat them with some egg whites and a lot of black pepper and some sugar and bake them off. So they have a nice crunch to them, a nice sweetness in it, and you get a nice bite from the pepper. It works really well with the maple and the balsamic. This one dish I'm doing here is a cauliflower gratin. So basically I've trimmed up the cauliflower, saved all the stalk and all the scraps, stems, and I've made a cream sauce out of that. So I boiled the cauliflower, and then to order, I'm heating it up in the cream sauce I made with the cauliflower scraps. So it has a really nice cauliflower flavor throughout. Also do a cheese blend. I'm doing Parmesan, Romano, and Gruyere cheese. So we're gonna go right into a ramekin here. We're gonna do our cheese blend right on top, and we're gonna go right under the broiler again. And you have to keep your eye on this because it goes quick. Like I said, it's 800 degrees, so just want the cheese to brown and not burn.
A minute later, she's hot, bubbling, and ready for the table. Man, does that look good. But it doesn't get any better than this, the signature item on the Blue Heron's menu.
This is just a hand-cut 40-ounce porterhouse. As you can tell by looking at the marbling, it's a beautiful steak. You're looking at about 18 to 20-ounce strip on the strip side, and then probably about a 10-ounce fillet on the tenderloin side. It's a very, very nice cut of steak. So we're just gonna rub this down with a little olive oil, liberally season it with black pepper and kosher salt. I think it's very important to season it pretty liberally. You know, you're talking about 40 ounces of meat here. And what we want to do is lock in, you know, we really want to sear this thing hard. So we're going to pop it under our broiler here. And this is running at about 800 degrees. And basically we're going to cook this rare. We're going to take it out, we're going to carve off the bone, the strip side and the fillet side. Slice those, put it back on the bone, and slide it back under the broiler again and cook it to the desired temperature.
A couple of minutes of cooking on each side and the steak is ready to be sliced, but not served just yet.
As you can see, I've got the tenderloin side here, the strip side here. So we just want to carve right on the bone here. It'll kind of guide you to where you need to take it off. As you can see, it's got a very rare piece of meat still. That is our tenderloin. We're going to come right down on the bone with our strip. What we're going to do is put our bone right back on the plate, give our tenderloin a slice, back on the bone.
Then he slices the strip.
And we're going to go right back on our bone with that as well. Finish up, have some melted butter I'm going to pour over top. And at this point, we're going to go back under the broiler, probably for about 3 or 4 minutes, and we're ready to go. Use extreme caution when pulling this out. And that is our finished product. And at this point, that's gonna hit your table. Sizzling hot, nice red center. And then you've got your strip side.
Simply put, it's a steak lover's dream come true.
The presentation was lovely, and the steak tasted really, really delicious as well.
The steak was especially good.
And if a 40-ounce porterhouse is a little too much, don't worry. They also have a 24-ounce version that could be for 1 or 2 people. And don't forget to get something from the bar to go with it. They serve all the classics at the Blue Heron.
We think that people with my hair color will appreciate them, and the people that don't have my hair color will probably appreciate them too, given a shot at it.
Here's one that's really a throwback, the classic milk punch.
The punch was one of the first kinds of mixology. You can make them with rums, you can make them with vodkas, you can make them with whiskeys.
This, being a milk punch, starts out with what else? Milk.
Go figure. You can use half and half, cream, milk, 2%, whichever. And I'm gonna use some of our house-made cinnamon syrup. And we have a cinnamon-infused vodka that we made here. And let's give this a good shake. So you wanna froth up that cream. Alrighty, that right in there. A little nutmeg here. So voila, the milk punch.
It might sound a bit different, but fear not. This is an amazing cocktail. You've got to get down to the Blue Heron and give it a try. That's it for now on Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs. I'm Tim Laird, and we'll see you next time at one of your favorite places.
I'm Keith Clark at the Blue Heron. Thanks for watching Secrets of the Bluegrass Chefs.